So, trying to figure out this chat thing. I think I have it figured out. So I see y'all typing now. Sean really requests some blues and 70s soul. Yeah, we can do some blues stuff. It's always on the burner. Trying to think. Yeah, man. I always love playing blues. And just for you, Sean, I will play my most well-known instrumental called "This Is the Blues." We'll loop it real quick and give you a little jam. Actually, hold on. There we go. Been a little while. I got you though. Let me get my tempo right. Let's put a little drum loop in there so I can get the timing and jam over it for y'all. We'll just do a little boom bap drum loop. Just bear with me just 1 second. Find a good gritty boom bap loop for you. Here we go. find a solid drum break here. We can work with that. There we go. So yeah, there's just a little jam there, getting warmed up. Let me read some of these chats. To collaborate, Nathan. Thanks, man. My email is jurdbeats16, JURDBEATS16 @gmail.com. I'm always open to hearing people's ideas and stuff, and if you got ideas that we can collaborate on, and I've been doing this a long time, and some of my best music has come from collaborations, so it's not something I'm opposed to. So yeah, if you got ideas, send them over, and if we can make magic, let's do it. Rock the House. Yeah, it's an older track, but that's definitely a cool one, man. If I can remember it, let's see. I can't remember exactly. I have to hear it again to get back on it. Is the chat working? Is everything, the sound? Can y'all hear everything that's going on? I'm reading some chats, but it stops. So, okay, yeah. Have you ever wanted to be a part of a band? Oh yeah, I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 14, and I'm now 28. So definitely in high school, there was a drummer that was my best friend. We actually lived together for a couple years, and we wrote music. And yeah, man, I mean, there was definitely, we wrote songs. I played live. We did a show with Nappy Roots, an artist I was working with. So we opened up for Nappy Roots several years back, and actually brought out a bigger crowd than they did. So we packed the place out. Nappy Roots had a little pretty good crowd, and it was a full show. We had drums, guitar. I was dropping beats, playing guitar over them. We did a metal interlude in between a hip hop show. So we would always do things like that, and make it to where our shows were like really dynamic. We would play hard hip hop beats. I would do blues guitar stuff on tracks we did. And then in the middle of the show, we would just like completely go metal. And, me and my drummer would just play like our own music and do metal interludes. Like we did a Holy Diver interlude. Yeah, stuff like that. I haven't played a lot of this stuff in a long time, so if there's a note or two missing, it's just me going by ear. So yeah, like if y'all have any requests you want to hear played, I'll be glad to take some requests. Listen to what y'all are into and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm just a fan of music in general, so I play everything, and try to have fun doing it. 3 Days Grace. What was that one song they said? I ain't played that stuff in years, man. 10 years since I played that. I used to know Bark at the Moon, actually. I got the moon, turn one step away from me. Let me listen to it real quick. That's Shot in the Dark. Never mind. Bark. I can usually pick up on those kind of songs. I used to know them all by heart years and years ago. So. There's some Santana, Carlos Santana.
Rock and roll. I feel like, well, not yet.
Something like that. Get a quick tab. I can sit here and play it by ear, but it'll take just a little bit longer. I'll just look at a tablature real quick and pick it out. I think we're a little flat somewhere on the line. Excuse me. Let's try looking at tablature. I'll play the song and look at the tablature along with it. Pretty close. I mean, I'm just jamming right now. That's something I have to pick along. Disturbed. I used to know some Disturbed. I think it's in the drop D tuning. I'm throwing out some old bands I used to play, which is cool. Let's see here. It might be in a different tuning. If so, I'll just have to. Okay. 17. I think that's right. Yeah, that's it. Dang, I played that a long time. So it's in drop D. Yeah, that was pretty easy for the most part. It just does that like the whole song. Was y'all into System of a Down at all? Y'all remember them? Yeah, they were always cool. Incubus, definitely. I know a lot of Incubus. Let's go to a clean channel for some Incubus. The whole song just does that for like 9 minutes, but that's a really, really fun song to play. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, they just had a lot of like really cool chords, like they had Anna Molly. That was a real fun one to play. Linkin Park, huh? There's so many Linkin Park songs. I haven't played Linkin Park, God, at least since high school. Let me see what just comes up when I type it in on the tabs. I don't know what's worth fighting for, or what I have to say. Numb. Let's see. Yeah, it's always fun stuff to play. I'm just picking this up out of my head, really. I mean, it could be a lot better, of course, but I'm just, messing around, having fun. Stained. Oh yeah, I remember Stained. I used to know Stained too. I know all these bands, man. I haven't played them in so long. See what if I can remember like that main song. Let me look it up. It's been a while. Yeah, that's it. Let me see if I can. It's been a while since I could hold my head up. I have to hear it. I can't remember the melody. What is that there? Little tricky chords there, not gonna lie. Been a while since For You. Let's see if I can remember that one. I did a lot of acoustic stuff. They had a little electric guitar stuff. Most of it was. Oh yeah. Yeah, they played in a little. It's a drop down tuning, I think.
It's your daughter of my screams, loud enough for. It's your son, it's your daughter of my screams, loud enough for you to hear me. Should I turn this on for you? I say you're lost inside my day for you. Your insults and your curses make me feel like I'm not a person, and I feel like I am nothing, but you make me so do something, because I'm
There you go. I mean, that's pretty much the whole song. Do you wish you were a millionaire? Just imagine how many guitars you could buy with over. I mean, who doesn't? I think the ultimate goal for me was just to be able to make the music I wanted to make, have people that enjoyed it, have artists that were inspired, and for me to be able to do only that. And that's what I've been doing since 2011, I think. Well, I dropped my first YouTube videos in like 2010. That's when the blues hip hop stuff. But I was making music before that and producing a little bit. But I started out just playing guitar only. I was just a guitar player. I played with, my friends who are really good. And yeah, we just did stuff like that. And then as I got older, I actually got into rapping. And I mean, I was always really good at rapping. That's something I was able to write lyrics, had a really good flow patterns. I was able to freestyle, and me and my friends were doing that. And then, we were doing it all on industry beats and stuff. And um, everybody knew that I was a musician. So we got the ideas to start making our own music. So I started producing beats for us. And after that, I just kind of stepped away from recording myself and friends and just strictly producing, and then kind of put my hole in my craft for a couple of years before I started like putting beats online for artists to license and stuff. So I didn't really jump into producing, and just like I made sure when I started putting music out that it was a certain quality, and it would inspire people. I felt like at the time it wasn't as saturated as it is now, of course. I mean, this is what, 8 years ago. So there was still a lot of producers online, and I knew that it was only going to get bigger. So I wanted myself to stand out a certain extent. Like I really wanted things. I really wanted like a certain sound. I wanted people to know that it was my beat, and I think it worked whenever I started doing the blues stuff, because not hardly anyone was doing that. But if you look now, there's been a lot of kind of people bite the whole blues hip hop thing, and now nobody was doing that at the time when I did it. So, yeah, man, I just I enjoyed doing it and making a sound for myself, and I kind of looked at it as the way Dr. Dre made G-Funk and West Coast. I did blues soul. I'm from North Carolina, Southern state, and I didn't want to sample music. I've heard people make blues music, but sampling vinyl records and stuff, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to write music and it to be authentic and original and all that. So thankfully, it worked out to where people got it, and I'm very grateful for that, because I mean, there's people that put beats up all their life and don't get hardly any recognition and stuff and make good music, but I felt like what I was doing was very authentic and people just kind of got it. So that's where I was with it, and I was just happy to be able to do it. Like it wasn't ever about getting rich or anything. I've had a few placements and stuff, and I mean, obviously have been able to do this full time. So, I mean, things have gone well. There's been rough times, you don't know when your next paycheck's coming, stuff like that. But, I was able to get to a point where I had enough beats online and the clientele, from YouTube and stuff, to where I was just able to do that. And I think that's the ultimate goal, man. It's not really about getting rich and buying all the guitars. Like I have several guitars and stuff, but I don't need all that. I just need quality instruments to make quality music, and that's all. If you're doing it authentically, then people will get it. Thank you. I appreciate the respect, man. Or, Naomi. Anything else y'all want to hear? Or you want me to just kind of play? Play some metal. Sam, this guitar here, I had it custom made for me. A company called Kiesel, out of California. It's a solid body instrument. Had it made, actually bought it for my birthday in 2016, I think. It's not a cheap guitar. If you look at the finish of it, it's like ocean water. It's really cool in the sunlight. So yeah, man, this is all I need. Like, this thing is a very, very good instrument. And I have a bass over here, I have an acoustic, I have another electric over there, and there's, I acquire guitars here and there. I've had a John Petrucci Music Man. I really liked it. And I've had a Washburn X50 Pro FB. I've had a Jackson Dinky. I had old Fender when I first started. I had a BC Rich Warlock. I've had a Schecter Hellraiser. I had a 7-string BC Rich. Guitars are awesome. Any musician that plays guitar is going to want to collect them and stuff. But, I just put a lot of money into one solid, badass guitar. So that's what I did. Road tripping. I can't remember that one off the top of hand. I have to listen to it. But I do know a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers. When I first started playing, I learned by tabs. There's a software called Guitar Pro I used growing up a lot, and that's how I learned a lot of my songs. Over the years, once my ear got trained, I just mostly listen to it nowadays, and I'll pick apart like I don't know, a riff at a time or certain notes at a time and stuff like that. But now, oh, Rush is sick. They're one of my favorite bands too. But yeah, I mostly do it by ear nowadays for the most part. Everybody loves Rush. My favorite riff by them is Working Man. Yeah, they were great for a 3-man band. That was actually the very first concert I ever saw was Rush. When my friend's dad took us, we had like, I don't know, it was probably like 6-row seats. Very first concert I ever saw. 3-man band that sounded like 8 people up there. Neil Peart had his, he does a 10-minute drum solo through every live show he does, which is absolutely insane. That dude on the drums, it's crazy. Like he, if you know music theory and stuff, like the rhythms he uses, he doesn't do just your typical 4. He does like 7 and 8s and stuff. Like he's out there, man. He's in my opinion probably like the top 5 best rock drummers of all time. He's definitely up there. And for him to be the age he's at and still, like Metallica's Lars, he's kind of faded off and he's not able to get the double bass down in 1 and stuff like he used to. And Neil Peart, like he stays just as good. And if he don't get better, I mean, he's amazing. That dude's, I love Neil Peart. And Geddy Lee, his bass guitar work is sick. A lot of people don't get the whole vocals, but you got to understand they're Canadian. So But yeah, they were amazing to watch. I've seen them about 4 or 5 times live, and every time it's amazing. For 3 people to make that sound is just it's absolutely incredible. Evanescence, huh? Pretty close. Maybe. I don't know.